Hey guys, welcome back. It has actually been a very long time since I have filmed. It has been weeks. Technically I filmed, it is November, almost December. So today is Tuesday, December is on Friday. It is the holidays. We had Thanksgiving last week. It was wonderful. It was a very good Thanksgiving. The weather has been, we haven't had too much more snow since October, maybe a skiff here and there, but nothing to write home about. And we're under a winter weather thing. I think our snow is going to start coming actually on Thursday and Friday. I believe we have a winter weather advisory going on. We're ready for snow. There's always a couple phases when we're not ready for snow, and that is getting hay, getting wood, and that's all been done for a while, since before October. But we had some projects around the farm that we needed to get done, or wanted to get done for convenience purposes, for the farm to run smoother this winter, and it kept getting pushed off, and it just got done. It finished up yesterday, which I'll actually show you because it is exciting. We've kind of rearranged the farm a little bit, nothing major. Gardens are normal. So the weather's been pretty mild. We have been getting very cold at night. 2 degrees, 5 degrees, 6 degrees has been what's been happening the last week or so. The ground is starting to freeze, which I hope not quite, because I forgot to plant something. And it is time for the ice rink. So if you're new here, we are in a very cold area of Oregon. Squirrel Ping in the tree. That's our kitten. Well, he's not a kitten anymore, but that's Ping Pong. If you're seeing these bags behind me, these are all leaves. A couple weeks ago, a friend of mine has a friend in Bend, and she's an older gal and needed help raking leaves. So me and the boys went down, and my friend went down. We raked up all her leaves. She made us cookies. It was wonderful, and we got the leaves. So here is Ping Pong's down on the ground. Mando is right there in the tree. Story about Mando. We have been having a couple issues with our truck. Been into the shop 3 times since August or July. You're gonna hear ruckus back here because these cats are playing. It's been in the shop 3 times since July. The last time we took it in, it was able to drive in. It didn't break down on me in the middle of the road like the other 2 times. And we go to the shop, it's at night. It feels like it's super late, but the time change, it was probably like 6 o'clock. I meet Trey there. We come home, and yeah, I get a phone call from the shop about 9:30 in the morning. So the truck was there overnight. They're like, yeah, do you know of a cat that's black and white and gray and has a green collar? And I was like, yeah. That's our kitten Mando, and it's my oldest son's kitten. And the night before, I swear I saw him come into the house. We have a lot of predators around here, so we are diligent about making sure our cats are in at night. My oldest is like, Mom, have you seen Mando? And I was like, oh yeah, I saw him. He's just probably hiding around, found a cozy spot or something. Played it off like that because I really thought I saw him, but no. Apparently he had rode inside our truck into the engine part. I don't know. There were 3 miracles that happened. One, that he didn't jump out and I run over him on the way, or anybody else run over him, or that they were in the auto shop said he was lucky he didn't get by the fan, like chopped up by the fan. And then third thing is he stayed in the truck all night instead of getting out. And he could have been ran away lost. But instead, nope. I drove there, went and got him at 9 in the morning the next day and brought him home, and he's safe and sound. And I'm like, this cat, it's a Christmas miracle. It wasn't even Christmas. I don't even know if it was, surely it was November, but it wasn't even Thanksgiving. So our little Mando is back to us. He had some adventures out in the world. We rake leaves. Football season is over. It's been lovely to have my husband back and my children home. What else? I feel like some other things have been happening. I've been still going on my walks. I've been shifting them. I just got back from it, actually. I've been going around 3. It's only like 3. It just turned 4 o'clock. So when I started this video, I don't know if it was even 4 o'clock. but the sun's already down past the trees. It's getting dark really early. Instead of going early in the morning, I was going at like 7 a.m. on the dot. It's about 2 degrees or 5 degrees, or this morning it was 4 or 5 degrees at 7 a.m. I enjoy my walks and I like to get them. I like to start my day off like that. So it is a little, I don't really like doing it at 3 o'clock. I don't really like this time of day to go for a walk, but it is warm. So that is the trade-off. I need to get these leaves. These pile of leaves are for my small garden, but we're gonna go in the big garden because I want to show you that I'm super rich with my poop pile. Yeah. I had a comment a couple videos ago, I don't know, and a gal was like, I wish you'd talk more about your soil. I do talk about my soil. I did a whole video over this summer where I had found worms in my soil, where we don't get a lot of worms here. It's very difficult to get worms here. There's lots of people who've been gardening here for years and have never seen worms, and so yeah, that's a big deal. And I will tell you, our soil is it's a 0. It's a no bad nutrients but no good nutrients. It's just pH of 0. So I just had straight compost. We don't till, we don't do any of that. We disrupt the soil as minimal as possible. Obviously, when harvesting or planting, you're going to have to disrupt your soil a bit, but nothing intentional as far as tilling goes. And that's really improved the life of our soil by not disrupting the microbiome of any of the soil layers and just letting it get rich. Now, I also don't talk really about my soil much in a scientific way because I don't know enough yet. I have this little at-home soil testing kit I need to get done. It's just one of those things I just have had for a few years and just haven't done it. But I would like to get my soil testing done and see about that. So the soil is very rich. I worked on it very hard. We amend our soil at least once a year, sometimes twice if we're swapping beds. In mid-season, I'll add a little bit of compost, but honestly, the garden is so big that I don't do that much. This we just planted. We didn't just shoot. This was back in October. This is our garlic. This is my favorite row. It's the row when you come into the gate. It's the first row. Garlic, I swear, if you live in an area where you can still plant garlic and get it in, that's great. We are. I don't know, I wouldn't even recommend it for us right now. It's pretty cold, gonna get pretty cold, and with it, I don't know, you could give it a whirl. Always try it if you want to, but if you live in a warmer climate, for sure get it in. I crop rotate, even though our soil's pretty rich, where I probably wouldn't have to because it's pretty healthy. I do. And the one year I had it here, it was like my favorite year because it's like the first thing up and it's so green and beautiful and everything else is just bleh. So that's my favorite place to plant my garlic, and that'll be up pretty good. So I am seriously poop rich over here. This is all compost from our dairy cows and pigs. And essentially we had a place, a fence line where we would just throw the hay over in the winter if it was a lot of snow or it was cold, and it's kind of like the sacrificial area. You'll see it on a bigger scale with Justin Rhodes or Joel Salatin. They'll have like a barn or whatever. We don't have that. We just throw it over the fence, and that's the sacrifice area. And every year we come through with the tractor either in the fall or the spring, scrape it up, make a giant compost pile. I have a compost pile here. I also have some down there, but this is my biggest one. This is my big one for the year. And that will go on some of these beds for next year. So something I've kind of not talked about, but because it's not a for sure thing, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I do think it's cool to see the progress of those things that you're unsure about and are kind of a big deal. And I think I might have touched on it a few, I don't know, at some point in life. But the garden, we used to be market growers. We used to do flowers and vegetables, and that became, I've talked about it enough, but this is a 14,000 square foot garden, a little over 14,000 square feet because of the greenhouse, but it's a 14,000 square foot growing space of garden. It's just a bit big for me, especially with our high tunnel there, and don't want to make you sick, across the farm is our little garden That's the chicken coop, but on the other side of the chicken coop is the little garden. That's a lot of growing space. I'm envisioning for next year is this half of the garden being a community garden. Don't know exactly how it's gonna go. I'm just not sure. But I have ideas unrolling around in my head. I'd like it to maybe funnel through our church in some way. Haven't even talked about it too much with too many people. It's just starting the stirrings of it. Probably after, in the new year, it'll get talked about a little more. But having the community out here, we have 10, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have 17 garden bed rows that are just begging, and I will stick to this half of the garden over here. So these are the smaller beds. They range from 25 to 65 feet. Over here they range from 65 to 75 feet. Smaller ones back towards the greenhouse. And then I have 5 rows of 50-foot beds, and they're all 5 feet wide, 50-foot beds back there. So I would keep the 5 50-foot row beds. Obviously it's still all my garden, so I'm keeping it all. It's just utilizing it. And I would utilize this half, which has 10. So that would be 15 good sized beds. And I know that still sounds like a lot, but when you think about it as garlic's in this partial of this bed too. Think about onions in maybe 2.5 beds, the rest of this garlic bed there. Let's do 2 rows of cabbages, a big row of cauliflower, a big row of broccoli, and then I have 1 extra bed, which would probably be for leeks and shallots, turnips, rutabagas, and a mixture of odds and ends, kales, a mixture of odds and ends that when it fit, and that's all those beds. And that's not even carrots, carrots and parsnips. So we're gonna have plenty of spaces to putz around in here. Plus we have the small garden, so have no fear, we'll have plenty of growing space for ourselves. Those 5 beds, I did harvest some potatoes, but not a lot. The frost kind of nipped them down, and by the time I got to them, I was like digging through and I was having troubles finding them. Well, I was finding them, and then I just left a lot of potatoes in the ground back there, and Lord willing we'll have volunteers. We always have volunteers, so we'll see how that goes. So I'm really praying and seeking the Lord about this half of the garden and just asking for wisdom on what to do. It would be a very simplified thing for people. Obviously we water our garden anyway, so we'd be watering it. We'd need help planting and weeding. Nothing else, no money needed. We have the compost, we have the seeds, we have the water. So it's basically the labor. Trey and I have already thought of some plans to build a little outhouse. And there's already water out here for people, so they wouldn't have to come and utilize our home. It would all be out here. And I think it could work. I'm pretty sure it could work. And I have had a vision for this for a bit, and I would love to see it to come into fruition this spring. And it'd be really awesome to be able to teach people hands-on, or if they already know more than me, have them teach me. I think it could be a really beautiful thing. So I'm really praying about it, and you guys could join me if you feel inclined. And yeah, I think it'd be a wonderful thing for our community to open this up. So there's a big dream, a big idea for this big garden. And I'd keep this half, which is the side when you come into the garden, and it's right here. A lot of these rows I put fresh compost on last year and didn't utilize the beds. So they need some serious work for next year, probably weeding and there's a couple beds that need re-cardboarded. Definitely this first one. It's a problem child. Re-cardboarded. But a lot of them just need cleaned up. It's just a lot of the old plants that were in there last year. Freshening them up with a little bit of compost. Not even a whole lot. And it's good to go. So that's not bad. Not bad. So I'm going to hop on the golf cart. I was going to take some leaves, but I might need to do that tomorrow. I have another day. Okay, so here's the garden gate right here. The fence line used to go right here, and we moved it back for 2 reasons. We're also getting ready to build our ice rink. We're in a very cold part of Oregon. We can have ice rinks. This will be our 5th year having. an ice rink. So we've had solar, you guys have just never seen it, but it's going to probably be in the background of a lot of videos, and we moved it. It used to be on the top of our small barn, and it works great. In the summer it was fine. We have a lot of pine trees, and we took down some. I did not want to take down any more. Every year, every winter, multiple times a winter, sometimes multiple times a day, we were having to climb up, which it's not a big tall roof, it's a little barn, but we were having to get up on it, scrape the snow off, get the ice off of it so the solar would work, just to water the animals. So now we have a fancy little stand for our solar, which is going to be absolutely perfect, and we can just stand and scrape it. And also it's like 90% full sun in winter. It's 100% full sun in the summer, so it's probably the most full sun space on the farm. So I'm standing in our ice rink. We're measuring it out. We're doing all the things we need to get done for that. We also moved the fence line all the way back, and I'm going to show you why. It used to come up here to the chicken coop, and we pushed it back. So the water trough is right there. That's behind the little garden, and we can get to this front stall now without getting mugged by the cows. So Suki, Babette, oh my gosh, what it all. Miss Patty, Mia, they're all woolly mammoths. Tis the season for winter coats. Babette is doing great. So good. Too good. The little tyke. We've been separating Miss Patty at night because we calf share, so we separate her so we can milk Mia in the morning. And we weren't getting any milk. And we were like, this is so weird. And my boy's like, Miss Patty, she must be nursing through the gate. And I was like, no way. Now it was little Squirt here. She's probably gonna go do it right now. Well, thanks for the example. You trip? Thanks for the example, Babette. She's gonna go nurse right now on Mia. That is not her mother. That is her grandmother. She nurses on both. She nurses on both the women here. She is an equal opportunist, and so now we have to separate her. She's just a little rascal. We also added some more shelter on for the cows. 4 cows, this tiny barn, and because hello piggies, the piggies are in here snoozing. You can't see them. Somebody left this light on. With 4 cows, whoa, woo, blow out. The calves go into this barn, and now the mamas have a place to go to get out of the weather. They choose not to use it more often than not, but in the last week and a half that it's been up, but you never know. When those harsh winter storms come in, I bet they'll be under there. We kept this stall and we moved the fence back. Next year I think we'll do some other fixing up on this barn and maybe extend the roof a little bit for an overhang. This stall we're gonna load up with hay we probably should get it done, because we're gonna load it up with hay for some really harsh cold and some really harsh snow. So some days we don't have a tractor, we don't have a plow, and to get hay, it's all the way on the other side of the farm. So this is some poor design, but all these structures were here. So we're just utilizing what we have, and it's not an issue if the snow doesn't get dumped on us. If we have time to plow and get our plow guy here, or we'll take the truck through if we can't get a hold of anybody. It's not a big deal. But some days you'll get pounded with a couple feet of snow, and you just really don't want to take hay from that side of the farm to this side of the farm. So we're going to pop in a bunch of hay into this barn, just like 10 bales or so, just to have it here to be able to just feed more accessibly in the winter without getting mugged and having to worry about the cows breaking out and getting into here. Lots is changing. We also moved this big gate. It was right next to the chicken coop. We moved it back, obviously, but we also moved it over because we wanted the option to be able to extend the chicken coop fence out here. And my vision is to add some nesting boxes, build them out so we don't have to go into the coop. We can just flip open the thing and get the eggs out. My sister's been telling me to do this for years, but now I think we're gonna get ready to, well, at least this spring and summer or into next fall. These are all ideas. So we'll extend this chicken coop fence so we can have more the chickens can have more space, make it a little more easier accessible. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. My son dug out a crap ton of crap, and it's really good compost and it's beautiful. And I think because we put wood chips in there to help just give them a cleaner area, it's really built up some beautiful soil with the chicken manure. Oh, it's cold. As you can see, the garden is in its winter phases. My Brussels were not ready for Thanksgiving, so we're hoping I don't know, they're looking pretty sad. They're getting big. I don't know, I was like maybe Christmas, but if we get cold. Oh, this ground is frozen solid, which sucks because I harvested on Thanksgiving a bunch of carrots out of here and it's beautiful, but now it is frozen. I have a few more cabbages in the back there. I need to get those out. I should probably just harvest these Brussels. I was looking for these gloves. Oh, they're frozen. I must have left him out here Thanksgiving or so. So a lot has changed. I have started clean up in here, believe it or not, but needs more, or I just need to come in and mulch it with the leaves and call it a day. Well, there is a long update for you. A little look at what's been going on at the farm. And now we just need to clean up this garden some more and get some mulch down before this winter storm. This cat is going berserk. Mando, come here. He doesn't want to come here. He says hi, my own person. We are all decorated, well, mainly. I still have some odds and ends I need to get done outside, but we got the Christmas tree up, we got the house decorated out, which I will do some videos in there so you guys can see it. I don't think I've ever shown my full Christmas decorations. I put up a Christmas village and it gets all nice and cozy, and I love my home at Christmas. It's so charming. It is delightful. I need to get some more lights up outside. I'm going to put a bunch of lights up at the ice rink because of the fence and where it's around. I have poles now I can put lights up. It's going to be quite exciting. And I'm ready for snow. We're ready for snow, guys. I guess I have a few more things out here I need to pick up. I got a hose. Mando. Thank you guys so much for following along with me. It's been a while and I missed you. And I will see you guys on my next video. Bye, guys.